Hey, happy Wine Wednesday.
Happy, you caught me off guard. I was expecting the countdown.
You know what?
Holy
It's so
cow.
hot right now. There's no countdown.
You know what's
Uh,
that mean? I'll make the translation. Fuck the countdown, Carol. There you
so
go.
BC just set a bunch of what heat records, right?
14 heat record. We have we have a live show today. We have a full audience right in front of us here. Our researchers just told us that BC just beat 14 records, heat records across the province. The most fascinating is the 25 degrees beat at Prince Rupert.
Is it Prince Rupert or Prince George?
No, Prince Rupert.
Oh, Prince Rupert. Almost 26 degrees today. So
Wow.
it's a hot one. You know, here's Mira's hack of the day. I took a bunch of what are these called? Pillowcases. Soaked them in water and I wrapped them up and put them in the freezer. And now I like take them and they're like
there you
frozen.
go. Hey, well,
like this. It feels really good.
Happy Wine Wednesday, Canadian wine lovers. We're live across the country. We are live here from the Okanagan, Summerland, BC. I think it's what, 38 degrees right now? Something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's freaking hot and it's awesome. The lake is behind us. Jumped in the lake a few times today between emails and meetings.
Yeah.
That's a dream life. I'll tell you one thing.
Well, yeah, I can't complain about the heat because up until a little while ago, we were complaining how summer's not here yet. So there you go. Oh my God.
Woohoo! That's what happened when it's hot, right? Yesterday, when Mira popped that bottle, she was waiting to savor it, and poof, cork just blew when she took the cage off.
Bonjour, Daryl.
So
Nice
yeah, there you go. Nice bubble here. We have, there you go, Locust Lane 2019 sparkling Rieslings. You know what? When it's hot, I'm looking for something refreshing, sparkling, acid, Riesling acid. So dry bubble, quench your thirst.
It smells really thirst quenching.
It is. It is. This is a bronze medal from the last year Wine the Line. Cheers. Cheers to every one of you who are listening across the country. Everyone in Québec, en français, un beau bonjour à tout le monde. Merci de vous joindre à nous. Une belle journée chaude à travers le pays. J'ai eu un petit call au Québec aujourd'hui. C'était la fête à mon filleul. Puis apparemment, il fait bien chaud au Québec aussi. La canicule là-bas. Ici, ça fait 3 semaines qu'on est dans le 32 ou 35 degrés. On s'en plaint pas. On aime la chaleur. Le lac est chaud. Un beau bonjour à tout le monde au Québec. La région de Québec. Pierre, Jean-Denis, toute la famille. Jean-Denis, passez un maudit bon moment quand vous êtes venus nous voir. C'était le fun de vous voir. Toi, Marianne, Michel, toute la famille. Un beau bonjour à tout le monde. Pierre Nollet puis la gang de la région de la Rive-Sud. Un beau bonjour. Saguenay, partout en province, un beau bonjour en français. Ensuite, whoa, here you go.
Sorry, that was the Annapolis Valley.
So, cherry pit here. Just it's cherry season, for God's sake.
So there's a cherry orchard by our house.
There you go.
That. So we were going to chat a bit about what's drinking well in the sun in this crazy heat. Rosé, something we're pissed off about and we want your input on. And also going to share some of our adventures because we want to take you with us. We have some crazy fun adventures in wine country and we'd like to share those with you. Starting with last night, we're out celebrating my birthday early. My sister and brother-in-law took us out. Look at this sunset.
Yeah, something special, something unique. I hope that Richard De Silva and Leanne and the team are listening right now because you guys did an amazing job. The kitchen at De Silva.
So we ended up eating most of the food before we remembered to take a picture. We're terrible at
it. I know, and I even forgot the main dish. I forgot to take a picture of the paella, for God's sake.
But before that, this is just worth sharing because it's such a good idea on your hot summer days. They're roasted or marinated beets, right? With a bit of mint. I would have never thought to put some mint on there, but holy cow, is good. So mint, you could probably throw some goat cheese on there or something like that. Oh, thank you so much.
And
so we have a brother-in-law just brought us some rosé.
Part of our live audience today.
We are having some rosé. So let us know if you've been trying some wines in this heat. What's drinking well in the heat? Because we're doing the bubbles, Riesling bubbles. We're doing the rosé. What kind of rosé is that, Carl?
This is Cabernet Franc Rosé from Black Market Wine Company, 15 minutes from here in Summerland. This is from Caledon, BC, one of my top 6 rosé. We'll talk about that in a few minutes, one thing at a time here. Let's keep talking about our adventure and yesterday.
Yeah, so it was worth mentioning the beets from Distilva. Pretty much everything they do is freaking phenomenal. Let me see here.
Or is it why because it was the plate with the most in?
That was all that was left. There's a little bit left of this.
That's a pork shoulder. This is one of our favorites.
So no, that was the goat actually.
That was a goat.
So they do a pork shoulder and a goat. So
yeah,
if you have the patience,
slow cooked goat, like fall off the bone.
Why would you slow cook in this heat? You could probably do it on a barbecue, hey?
Excuse my French, but fuck that. No, I'm not. I'm not slow cooking anything. I either grill something really quick so we can get it off.
Yeah, you go to Distilva and do that stuff.
There you go.
Let them do it.
Yeah. I'm not slow cooking anything. Or like I cooked some schnitzels earlier.
Yes, schnitzels.
You know
they
what?
Were pre-made.
In the air fryer, 5 minutes, flash. Okay, let's turn everything off. So yeah, what are you guys drinking today? Wherever you are across the country, what's your go-to when it's hot and scorching? Okay, because I have 2 of my go-to right now. Sparkling, and let me tell you why. Sparkling, harvest early, almost all the time to preserve the acidity. Okay, usually low alcohol and Riesling on top of it. High acid type of grape. So for me, what's the acid do? Just stimulate your taste bud. It's mouth watering, high acidity. It's vibrant. It's filled with energy. So I love Riesling and sparkling both together. One of my go-to. I love that. Quench my thirst. This is like lime peel. There's nice smell into that, but like light, 11% alcohol. I love that option. And what I like to do to drink when it's hot like that, rosé.
Yeah.
Rosé. It's rosé season.
Boom.
We had an event. Go ahead.
Yeah, tell us more about your top rosés, because what ended up happening is we had a small member event here, actually right here. There is a big covered deck in front of us next to the lake here.
We're not going to show our guests here, but let me turn that around. No. There you go.
Yeah.
So that's the cover.
Hard to see, but turn it around because the sun is so bright you can't see it.
Can't see it. So we'll forget about that. Anyway.
What we can tell you is that we had Carl's top 6 rosés, right? You looked over all your notes, said these are the top rated BC rosés this year that we've tasted.
Yep. So we went around, we tasted a bunch. How many? At least 30. 35 at least. Well, maybe probably like 45 rosés from all over the valley since some of the first release in April. And we reviewed all of my notes and brainstorm with my best taster on the planet here. She's my most accurate. And so yeah, we came up with our top 6, and because we planned it ahead of time, so we were able to nail an allocation. We have put aside 24 bottles of each and every of these 6.
A butterfly.
Of each of every of these 6 wines, and because now after we'll talk about the wines and
So we're making that available to members, people in BC, Alberta. We opened it up first because we had trouble finding good ways to get it out east fast enough. Of course, you want these rosés before the end of August, and you don't want them cooked, right? So, but there are some places in other provinces that we can send it to.
Yep.
So
now we're reopening it tonight. We have so all of the 24 packs. So let's review which one is part of the pack. So we'll go from number 6 to number 5 to number 1. If people who follow us, they already know that. Yeah, isn't it?
They're both like perfect right now.
I know.
They've been out in the sun
I
for
great
5
summer
minutes.
day. You know what? People
Well, we gotta drink them fast before they get warm, right?
Yeah, that's okay. That's a good problem to have. What do you think of your rosé, Adi? Yeah? There you go.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs
There we
up
go.
here from the live audience. So number 6, it was from Da Silva. The Silva Vineyard, where we were last night. It's becoming one of our favorite. Though I don't know if you guys recall the Chardonnay Day, but the Legado 2016 finished first among 52 different Chardonnays that we tasted that day. Their rosé is absolutely crushing it. I love how dry and earthy, completely different. It feels like if you're drinking some Spanish rosé or something like that. So the Silva was number 6. Number 5. I ended up to be with our Black Market Wine Company here, the Omerta Rosé, 100% Cap Franc. Rob Amersley and his team, aka Michelle and Karen, made an absolute bomb of Cap Franc Rosé this year. Well made, dry, fresh, purely Cap Franc on the palate. So
Daryl and Vicky will separate from sad ass Ontario to get rosé pack. Aw. I know there's a few members sad about this. We'll reach out because there might be a way to do it.
Okay, let me finish my top 6, Rose, my top 6 lineup, Daryl, and I will explain a few things and I'll let you know the good news. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. In 5-minute time, I have a good news for you. So at number 5. Number 4, it is Giant Head Winery from here, from Summerland. Well known for their Pinot Noir, well known for their absolutely well known for their Chardonnay. They're making a Pinot Noir Merlot Gewurztraminer rosé. I love it. This one, you got that right. You got that right. Love it, love it. 92 points, 91 plus, I believe. The new 2020, because John hold on to the wine at the winery on everything he does. He doesn't like, and this rosé is made to age. We tasted the 19 like a couple months ago, and the 19 is still bright, fresh, and really aromatic.
Can rosé be aged?
There is a question. Please put an answer in the chat box. Is rosé can be aged? Is it worth it to hold on to some rosé? Should we take rosé seriously when it's time to wine rating? Is it accurate to say that rosé, it's not a serious wine, it's just made to be fun, and it cannot be rated over 90 points?
Because this is where we got pissed off. Okay, we read another wine writer's review, like
I'm dying to fucking name him. I'm dying to name him.
But we read this last week or 2 weeks ago, right before our rosé event, by the way, which was freaking awesome, that we had here on the patio with the members
and winemakers and owners of rosés wineries.
Yeah, and this report by this unnamed wine writer said rosé is
it unnamed Michael Pink? No, okay, I can't. Okay.
He said it's not a wine to take seriously, and you can't age rosé, and rosé will never be rated over 90 points because it's not a serious wine. And I said, this person might have not tasted many rosés or been around the world or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so anyway, let's keep going, because let's that marinated a little bit. We'll get back to that conversation in a few minutes time, because we have lots to discuss about rosés today. Number 4 was Giant Head. So let's recap the number 5, 6, and 4. 6, 5, 4. Da Silva Cor de Rosa.
Oh, that's
fun.
I can't
blew it.
So freaking great.
There's Giant Head.
This is Da Silva.
This is Cor de Rosa, and also Omerta by Black Market. Okay, that's 6, 5, and 4. Let's get to number 3. Like these these three, and 1, 2, and 3 are off the chart freaking wine. And if you, Mr. Anonymous wine writer, you tell me that it's not worth more than 90 points, oh, guess what? We can sit down and talk about it for a very long time. I'm here, my seat here. We're going to put another seat and we can talk about it for a while. But 3, 2, and 1. Number 3, it's Lakeside Cellar Saint-Saul Rosé. This is the first Saint-Saul.
So, first 100% Saint-Saul in Canada.
First ever.
And I was like, what the hell is Saint-Saul, right?
Yeah.
So what is it?
What the hell is Saint-Saul? Saint-Saul is the classic grape of Provence. If like Provence is not Grenache. Grenache is part of the Grenache of the Provençal rosés, but the main grape in Provence it's Saint-Saul. Grenache is all over the Côte du Rhône. So it is close to Provence, but not typically Provence. So if you look for the real Provençal style rosé made in Canada, you got that right there.
Damn.
100% Saint-Saul from Lakeside Cellar in Osoyoos. An absolute beautiful wine. I love it. So I give it a 92 plus point. 92, I guess.
I'll look it up.
And anyway, I'm sorry, Mr. Anonymous wine writer, if I should not rate a rosé over 90 points. Number 2, Courcelette, the Oracle. 70% Pinot Noir, 30% Syrah. From the Similkameen Valley, rugged, tart, a little bit tart, beautiful finish, nose, incredible nose as well. Last year was one of the top, another top this year. And I remember like Gismondi early in the season, I think it was 3 weeks after me, giving a 91 points. And he said, and he's mentioning that he rarely gave 90 points to a rosé, but 91 points Gismondi or something like that.
Well, he rarely gives over 90 points for any
period. Period. He likes to give 93 points to California and Chilean wine, but this is a different story. I'm on fire tonight.
Oh, geez. Because it's so hot.
It's so hot. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And my number 1 for 2 years in a row when it's time of rosé. This is from the rosé guy, they call him around here. The founder, the first to make Vaila Rosé from Le Vieux Pin in 2005. A winemaker who made, I think it's something like, Disney, I think it was 100 and something rosés since 2005. He's the rosé guy. 7 Direction is an exclusively rosé brand. He makes 2 single vineyard rosés, single varietal, single vineyard. This specific one, the Tractor and Vines Pinot Noir rosé,
is like right there. Like we moved into the neighborhood. We liked it so much.
700 meters from here.
Yeah.
A quick little walk. We run by there every morning.
We ran by there and we're like, whose vineyard is that? That's weird to have a vineyard in front of all these houses. What is this? And then we're like, the only vineyard in Trout Creek is for this rosé. There you go.
Tractor and Vines. It was 2 years in a row. This rosé is my favorite. So the 2021 Tractor and Vines, 100% Pinot Noir. I'm hearing for people who order that from Ontario or from everywhere, somewhere outside of Vancouver or the Okanagan, and everyone calls back and say, what the heck is that? We never thought that was that premium of a rosé. And sometimes now you go on the market and you find some $35, $40, $45, $50 rosés because people try to push the boundaries. People try to push the limits. Winemaking is evolving. Daniel Bonterin is keep doing single varietal, single vineyard, pure, but keep improving his winemaking every year. And this is the shit. This is so good. So anyway, we secured 24 bottles. And
so I have to say something about it being this, okay? So this was our blind tasting that we did, right? So we had some members here on our patio next to the lake. cover. The fan.
And
nice.
Daniel was here.
Daniel, the winemaker, was here
As a as a guest, not as a speaker. He bought a ticket and he came with his wife to sit down and taste blind with among the other wines.
So of course he depicted his one right away, but he didn't tell us. But what we did is we put them all in, we wrapped them in brown paper bags, which by the way, we'll do for free for you if you order this rosé pack. And we'll also send you these little placemats we used. And then we labeled the bottles, 1 to 6. Nobody knew what they were. We tasted them and we talked about them. So much fun to talk about them. And one of the things I did just personally was I taste them all fast and thought about the finish only. And then I taste them all again and I thought about, like the mid palate and all the different parts.
She's getting so sophisticated as a wine taster now.
When I looked at the finish and the complexity too, I did those 2 little tests. Because I'm more of a scientist. You're more of the artist, Carl.
Yeah, that's
but this is very scientific here when I taste wine. So I was tasting them and I was like, which ones have the longest finish that I like? And it was the ones that happen to be empty first in this picture. You see,
number
like
2
and 4, I think.
2 and 4.
And those were actually Carl's top 2 when I found out. So those were the Tractor wine.
She didn't have a clue which wine was what.
Yeah.
Just based on, and Mira scales, right? Faster she drinks it, more glass she rates it, right?
It's bullshit there.
There's no bullshit there. It's like absolutely convenience and rational, like easy to understand. Faster I drink it, better that I like it, more glasses that I want, plain and simple. So these 2, like when I looked at her on her mat, and so
I said these are my 2 favorites for complexity and length, and number 1 was for sure Tractor and Vine,
and number 2 was Core Select. And so and we also had a winemaker, an assistant winemaker from New Zealand who was part of the tasting with us, and he was blown away by the Saint Saul rosé. He had a also I think a man crush on the Omerta rosé as well.
I'm just seeing if we have their.
So yeah, the pretty cool event that we ran here in the backyard. It was awesome. So that led us to say that led us to say, okay, we already had secured 24 bottles of each, and we've decided to make a mix pack available to members. At the beginning, early this week, we opened it only for Alberta and BC for shipping reason, because we are in charge of the whole darn process.
We found a way that we can legally sell mix packs and advent calendars and that sort of thing, and that is by calling them gift packs. So if you go to any wine or any like florist shop in BC, any place that sells gift packs, they can actually buy wine on your behalf and ship it to you legally, and you don't need a license. We just found this out after I finally had the chance to read all the legislation.
Yeah.
But that means that normally wineries will ship the wine to you, and this time we will. So we have actually researched, what's the fastest, best way to get there. It's not always ATS, because ATS sometimes charges like $100, and nobody wants to pay that. Sometimes it might be 1 or 2 day service with Purelator, with ice packs. Anyway.
Well, that's the thing. For people who are further away, well, even for people here, BC and Alberta, we are overnight them. So that's the trick. So we don't need ATS for that. We can just overnight them. We pay more, but it's getting fast. So the
wines don't have a chance to get super hot. So these were the members that we hung out with like about a week ago. They came to the rosé tasting, and then we went to the Naramata Inn, and that's the winemaker who does like Montepulciano and like
Montepulciano, Syrah
in New Zealand.
In New Zealand, so pretty cool winery in the North Island.
And you know what he said? We were tasting some reds, and we said, "Oh, these are 18, 19." He's like, "Oh my God, you released a 2019?" It's like we wait at least 12 years to release our reds in New Zealand.
Well,
for his winery.
Yeah, exactly. At some point, I was like, okay, calm down here. It's not all of the wineries. Sometimes King Crawford's released their Sauvignon Blanc not only the same years,
but because but
when it's like it's opposite season here, right? So we're not even starting our growing season in released or white. So anyway, it's not everyone, but yes, where he works, they released like 7 to 8 years past the vintage. So it was pretty cool to see his reaction, seeing some of the reds coming out pretty young. So yeah, so the rosé is available now, 220 to 225 for the whole pack. That includes shipping and tax for BC and Alberta. Now, and I'm sorry, Ontario, Quebec, and other provinces, we have to throw an extra $25 for the 6-pack if you order the bees. If you order the 6-pack. If you order a case of 12, what we're gonna do, we're gonna charge $225 times 2 with no extra charge.
So that's how we can make that work.
That's what we can make it work.
We got cool boxes. We got all kinds of fun things to make
this. So like that, we won't lose our shirts.
Happen fast.
I'm not gonna get so it's a risk, but it's exciting because we can put our top 6 in one box or 2 bottles of each in a case of 12 and ship it to our most excited members across the country. So the link is right there. We already have 14 packs sold, so there's only 10 left. So get at it pretty quick. If you're not sure how we want to do that, send us a note. We'll make it happen. We're not in the business to hold on to wines. We want these wines into your hands as fast as possible.
And I love the overnight. That's the ultimate dream, isn't it, guys? If we could find a way to overnight wines anywhere in the country, ideally with some kind of temperature control or with ice packs. I mean, people do it with food. We used to order those Hello Fresh boxes, and they would show up overnight with ice packs, and all the food was like totally fine.
But it's the same thing with lobster, right? If you want some fresh lobster from the
so why the hell can't we do it with wine? We'll figure this out.
Exactly. So we found the perfect box where they are sturdy. The size is perfect. So anyway, so everything is lined up. Everything is here. We're doing our last run tomorrow to finalize these boxes. And for people out east, it's not going to be shipped this week. We're going to wait until Monday.
So we can overnight it if there's any
and
issue,
it's not going to be stuck over a weekend anywhere. So 6 bottles of absolutely stunning rosés. You cannot get this 6-pack together anywhere else. So if you trust my what I like,
we have to drive around for a full day to pick up all these different bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not an easy one to get. It's not in liquor stores. And
we don't do that to make money. I'll tell you one thing. I'm just scared to lose my shirt on that. But anyhow, we're doing it because it's so cool.
And we want other wine lovers to be able to experience that.
Exactly.
And if you want to do what we did, we'll send you the stuff for it for free. Like we'll wrap them so you can blind taste your friends, and we'll send a little placemat so you can take your notes. By the way, speaking of blind tastings, what's this thing that you did? Burgundy and BC.
So we did 2 events last week. Yep. Thursday night, I went to Mira Family Vineyard, one of the top producer from Okanagan Falls of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. Jack Meyer and his team teamed up with an import company where they bring some outstanding French wine, and we did a BC versus Burgundy. So 4 of the Meyer Family Vineyard wine, 1 Chardonnay and 3 Pinot versus 1 Chardonnay and 3 Pinots from Burgundy, all from different village appellation and crus. So it was eye-opening, and to me, this kind of event helped a lot of taking down these stigmas. Like there are as many stigmas about the BC wine industry or the Canadian wine industry. Number 1, Canadian wines are so overpriced. You know what? Again, excuse my French. It's fucking bullshit. Okay, excuse me, but Canadian wine are so overpriced. No, they're not. I'll give you a few examples. Or, Canadian wine cannot stand against French wine. Ah, yeah? Guess what? I don't think so. So let me recap. Meyer Family Vineyard, we had the 2018, I believe, Old Block Chardonnay versus a Merceau. From can you put the placemat back on the
Yes.
please and thank you.
I'll
I need
show
to read.
you.
I can't. I think it was Bousier Frère or something like
I
that.
can't believe you can read that. You
I
have
can't.
sunglasses.
I can't. I can't. Anyway, I know exactly where they're coming from. I'm not sure, exactly sure which producer. That to me, that the producer, it's not the biggest attribute to Burgundy. It's more of the village. So this one, I gave the nod to the Burgundy one. It was a Merceau. Merceau and Montrachet are two of the top Chardonnay appellation of Burgundy. Saying that's mean around the world. The creme de la creme, the best of the Chardonnays from around the world will come from Montrachet or from Merceau. So we had and when I look at my score, it was a 93 points for the Merceau. And also, you got me right there when you talk about Merceau. It was my first love in wine. Like to me, there's not a whole lot who tops Merceau in the world. There's a few. There's some Canadian wine who tops it, and I can name you 5 right there. But what we experienced last Thursday, Merceau got the nod on that flight. After that, we moved to the 2017 Pinot Noir, McLean Creek, McLean Creek Pinot Noir versus a Latour Nuit Saint Georges. I will not lie to you, it was not even close. The Meyer McLean Creek 2017 absolutely destroyed the Nuit Saint Georges from Maison Louis Latour. It was not even close. The Latour was ethereal. It was a lack of balance. The earth in it was green. The tannin were rugged. There was nothing impressive. At the end, they disclosed the price. $117 for the Louis Latour and $44 for the McLean Creek.
Jeez.
Yeah,
but that makes sense. I mean, if it's really what it is, let's say it's $50 out there in France, like it is almost, it's $44 here. For them to bring it out here properly, that's going to add to the cost.
That's good, yeah, but even like
so basically,
they are getting
a shortcut by going straight to the Canadian one that is at that level, but it's here.
It's here. Not at the import, and now like Burgundy are so expensive around the world now that yeah. Anyway, second flight of red was the McLean Creek Old Block 2018 versus we had a Volnay Grand Cru. Was it the Volnay? Okay, back to the.
I will research this for you. What would you like?
I would like to know what was the wine the wine for the second flight?
Oh, okay. Oh, that's detailed. Okay.
give me my picture.
No one's reporting on this but us publicly, just so you know.
Okay. Anyway, it's very important. That flight was very close. Very, very close. The wine.
Okay, here's the pictures. They were very close. So you had the.
So that was the Micro Cuvée 19 versus the. Okay, so I want to know. The Nuit Saint Georges was the Latour. The Vosne. Oh yeah, that was 2018 Vosne Romanée Domaine des Perdrix versus the Meyer Family Vineyard Old Block Pinot Noir 18. Domaine des Perdrix, solid producer. I work with many of these villages from Domaine des Perdrix. Vosne Romanée, right beside, nearby Domaine de la Romanée County. Like Vosne Romanée, it's one of the most famous villages in Burgundy. These wines were, to me, head to head. very, very, very close. My counterpart, Rob Amersley, owner winemaker at Black Market, was with me. He gave a 0.25 above ahead as a nod for the Burgundy. I give zero point 0.5 ahead for the Meyer family. And our third party, another sommelier was with us, gave almost a full point to the Meyer on that flight. So now that was only for the wine tasting aspect. And here is the price. Domaine de la Vosnie Romanie, Domaine des Perdrix, $150 a bottle. Meyer Old Block, $68. Oh, Canadian wines are so overpriced. Yeah, sure.
No filter on this one.
Okay, so flight number 2. Flight number 3, we got the Old Block. Okay, back to this, to the map,
the
please.
picture. Okay,
Please.
So here.
We had, there was the Volnay Grand Cru, Les Centenaux, and the Meyer one was not the Old Block. That's mean that was the micro cuvee, and this one, it was not even close. The Volnay Grand Cru, okay, it's a new generation of winemaker. He's a young kid where he went on his own. He's a biodynamic farming and something like cosmic and all of that shit. He did something completely different. It would, if you blind taste, you have blind taste the 28th of the guests there. No one have ever said there was a Burgundy wine. It tastes like Oregon. It was really, really weird. And the Old Block absolutely destroyed the third flight. It was a 93 point versus a 88 versus a 80 and 89 points. And the price point, $150 for the Burgundy and $65 for the Meyer. Oh no, Canadian wines are so overpriced.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So anyway,
Nobody wants to be made fun of by Carl Live.
Story. The moral of that story is we had some big dog Burgundy wines came all the way up here and had their ass kicked. It reminds me the game of the 1972, the Russian and the Canadian, when the Russian came here to learn hockey and they absolutely kicked our ass and changed the course of the hockey history in Canada. But guess what? If the Burgundian came here to change the course of our wine industry, they just prove everyone that what we put in the bottle, what we do from our terroir, it's freaking world class. We've been saying that for 2 years now, and we had the proof right there. It was amazing to be part of that.
So we got a seat at the table when it comes to world class wine. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Look what I found in your notes. You put a W next to the winners, eh?
I sure did.
Yeah.
I sure did.
See closer up. Look here.
I never want to do like a head-to-head between Ontario and Okanagan. I always try to find complementary stuff between all of them. But when it's time to the international, I absolutely don't mind to see who's the winner. And to me, it was clear and obvious. I think I was not the only one. Everyone, probably the Merceau stand out. It was no doubt. But for the three flight of red, 2 out of the 3, it was absolutely not even a discussion. Everyone agreed. The middle flight, some went back and forth. It was pretty close. So at the end of the day,
it's not apples to apples because the price, like,
that's it. That's what I'm talking about, right?
More.
So tip of the hat to Jack Myers to have the balls to put his wine head to head with Burgundy. It takes courage to do that. It takes confidence about your product. And Daryl, I know you're a wine club members at Myers family. This is an awesome winery to follow. So I'm glad that you're a member of that. I know that Michel Quentin as well, one of our members from Calgary, is a avid member at for a long time at Meyer. So tip to the hat to Meyer and his team to host that very exclusive and fun event. It was eye-opening. It was not only eye-opening, it was just for me, it was just like a confirmation of my belief that Mira just said it perfectly. We have a seat at the table. We have a seat at the table.
We command a seat.
So there you go.
Canadian.
So that was the event that we did on Thursday, and on Saturday we were judging the Battle of Wine Dare to Pair down in Osoyoos at Intersection Wineries with Mel and Tony. Awesome team, very small but awesome team at Intersection. Battle of Wine. They've been running this cool event. These cool events for over 2 years now. And it was battle, but not a battle, but there was Dare to Pair with grilled cheese sandwich.
So they had this company, Oliver Eats, which is run by a guy who used to be a winemaker, winery assistant, all kinds of things for like what, 20 years.
20 years, all like up and down the valley.
And then he started Oliver Eats, which was badly needed. Basically like a really gorgeous food store in Oliver. You're kind of in a place where in the off season, I swear there's nothing like open. Like it's only from April to September. But in the off season, you go to Oliver Eats, they got like your beautiful like Parisian sausages and like imported cheeses, and they got all the good local stuff, and it's fantastic. Anyway, he came and he made grilled cheese sandwiches on demand for what, 4.5 hours?
Yeah, at least
it was 4. A little bit of a
marathon.
Craziness.
Yeah. It was like a scorching 37 degrees down there in Osoyoos. Like,
we got the 2 spots that were in the sun.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I got toast.
Why? But I'm still paying.
And that was the judge there, and I was like, at some point, get me out of here. You know, in the sense that it was fun.
Okay, so this is what we did as a break, and it was a fantastic break. Okay, I'll see if I can play this.
The Alluvia fruit, and obviously delicious. I mean, use it in the 6 different Merlots that we do. But definitely, this is something that we have a real hard time getting. Cab Sauv and Cab Franc, and we do a beautiful Cab Franc. I think Calvin had.
We had 18,
16?
16 Cab
Yeah,
Franc.
it's so good. It's so good. And we only have right now in production the 4 shorty rows there, and mainly all of the Cab fruit's always being purchased, which is really expensive. But the main thing is, we have big problems.
Feels like if I haven't changed since Saturday.
So what we were talking about there, it took us 5 days to wash this shirt, and then he wore it again. So, but what we were talking about was they're planting new Cab Franc and new Cab Sauv at Intersection, which is like one of our favorite places. It's awesome.
Yeah, they are making some outstanding Merlots there, but because the demand is so high for Cab Franc, and also they needed a little bit more Cab Sauv for the Axiom. So they rip out a little part of the Merlot block in the silica portion of it, and they planted Cab Franc and Cab Sauv. So we had a quick little walk between our breaks with Tony, just to see the evolution and just to keep people in perspective. We had an awful spring. It was just so rainy, and the vineyards and all of the agricultural all of the farms in the valley are so behind in every aspect of the growing season. But the last 3 weeks, it's been sunny and hot for 3 weeks straight. So the vineyard absolutely explodes.
Let me show you the picture I took of the Merlot. Where is it here? Bam! Finally.
Boom! Finally.
They were like tiny little berries a couple weeks ago.
Well, a couple weeks ago, there's some spot that were still in fruit sets. It was just so behind.
They were just flowering. Oh my gosh! Yeah. We were so worried.
Yeah. So now everything is up and running, and the Intersection has cool stuff. So anyway, 11 wines, blind taste that we did, and pair with 3 different grilled cheese sandwich. Some with brie, like triple cream brie with Saint Andre and cool stuff like that. One with blue cheese, gorgonzola. And one with a little bit of a classic style.
Like Gouda stuff,
Gouda stuff, yeah. So there was, the grilled cheese were outstanding, and
I have to do a shout out to Sue-Ann though, because I have to say, I mean, Oliver Eats, the chef there, he did an amazing job. But Sue-Ann's staff out in Ontario makes the most epic grilled cheese I've ever seen. And you can try to recreate this at home. Okay, you can try this at home. little bit of olive oil and melted butter on the outsides of the bread, and then she stuffs that bread, like crusts it with Parmesan.
Parmesan and grana padano.
Not the most expensive Parmesan, not the cheapest Parmesan, something in the middle that's finely minced that you can stuff on the outside, and then you grill that. And the other trick is she puts thinly sliced apples in the middle of the cheeses. Oh my gosh. Like you just need a little piece of that with 3 glasses of Riesling. That's
Yeah. So what we had in that lineup blind taste, we can't reveal what was in because we saw the lineup after. And just so you know, out of 11, I nailed 5 of the wines on grape varietal blind. I thought it was
way better than me.
5 out of 11, so I was almost 50%. So there were 2 Rieslings. There was a blend of Viognier and Marsanne. There was a orange Gewurztraminer. There was 2 rosés. One was a blend, and the other one was a Capron rosé. There was 2 red. One was a Syrah, and the other one was a, what was the other red? Maybe I think it was a Pinot. But anyhow, 11 different wines, all blind taste. I have to say, I am not a orange wine type of guy. I think it's just too geeky. 80% of these orange wine are not freaking drinkable. It's just like over the top weird. This one, it was probably, in terms of wine, not my favorite wine of all, but in terms of pairing, I thought it was freaking brilliant. So orange Gewurztraminer was fantastic. I had one of the 2 Rieslings was fantastic as well. So if you ask me what pairs well with some gourmet grilled cheese, I will say first Riesling, second a good orange Gewurz, great. A nice rosé, not too sweet. The second Capron rosé had too much RS. It was ugh. But a dry rosé did the trick, and a Similkameen Syrah.
The Similkameen Syrah was probably our biggest takeaway of that.
Don't reveal who's the.
I won't really reveal who it is. We're not allowed, right? So they're gonna announce all that stuff, the Battle of the Wines. But so interesting thing was we love these kinds of things because we get to discover new wineries that maybe we haven't featured in the club, right? Yeah. And it validates what we do because we looked at it and we're like, oh my gosh, out of 11 wines, we only liked like 3 of them. We would only ever consider featuring maybe 3 of them.
Because let's be honest, like the winery featured were, I won't say subpar wines, but it's nothing from the top line of what we usually do. It was nothing like Mira Family Vineyard. It was nothing like Giant Head. It was nothing like Black Market. It's nothing like Intersection. Well, yeah, there was one Intersection wines, and they would stand out too. So you know, it's a cool event. The level of wines were not like top there, but cool event. Brandon and
but we did. What my point was that we did discover a wine that we had never heard of that winery. Yeah. It's pretty new.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
And out of 11 wines, there were 3 we really liked, 2 we've already featured in the club, and 1 we'd never heard of. So you might be hearing about that one at some point soon.
I think
that's the one that probably will win. Like we haven't seen all the scores, but that's my guess. I mean, that was our winner between us.
Yeah.
And
we'll keep you posted on that.
Kept an eye on some of the other judges' score sheets, and I'm pretty sure.
So yeah, fun event. Wade and Brandon are doing some cool stuff. We were glad to be part of that. It was awesome. If anyone is in the Okanagan at some point and want to be part of the Battle of the Wines or Dare to Pair event, follow them. They're on Instagram at Battle of the Wine. Give them a follow. They're doing some cool stuff there. So
it was pretty fun.
Hopefully there's going to be some collaboration between us in the future. We love what they do. They're 2 cool guys. So that was on Saturday night. So there was a fun week last week. We did a bunch of stuff wine related. We're going to be working closer with multiple wineries now with some new stuff that we're putting together. But also Friday, we're going to go on a little road trip. We're going to go see Bonamici to see a little tasting.
It's a totally new winery on our radar that people have recommended, members have recommended, and so we have to go check it out.
Yeah,
and Friday, one of their 2 owners happens to be in town,
So we're gonna go meet and taste with Mario at Bonamici on Friday.
In OK Falls. And this is, I don't know, is it confidential about the wine that starts with a B?
The wine started to be.
The varietal that starts with a B. Was that
Oh no, it's
confidential?
not confidential. I don't
Okay.
believe so. They're
So
putting.
that was kind of exciting for me when I heard that.
Yeah. So they're gonna release soon a very small batch Barbera. So they're a family. They're a Italian style winery. So they have a first Barbera is gonna be released very soon from the south of the Okanagan. So that's pretty cool. I think. I know for a fact that Munkersur does a Barbera.
Well, we just featured Mouchadre as a reorder for those that wanted to get more. Mouchadre in the Lake Erie North Shore.
Yeah.
Out in
Cool
Ontario.
winery. And they just got 2 gold medal at the wine line.
You
I've
called
been
it.
the Cab Franc. I've been and I remember blind tasting a bunch of wine people at the Winemakers Cup in Oliver. So a bunch of BC wine industry people. I blind taste them on a Cabernet Sauvignon at 11 at night at the hotel, and I say, guys, tell me where that wine is coming from. And 0 out of 10 people that I blind tasted with a Mouchadre Cabernet Sauvignon would believe that that wine came from Ontario. So it was pretty cool to do that exercise. So Mouchadre just got 2 gold, Cap Franc caps off. We have more of these wines available right here. Click the
I'll
link
put it
down
in the-
there.
yeah, I'll put it in the comments.
Incredible value wines. Meritage is fantastic, and I think there's only 2 cases left of the Meritage. So if you want the 2018 Meritage, get to it now because it's going to be gone. Mouchadre, also Cap Franc, best Cap Franc under $20 at 18 or $21. Is it 21? Anyway, really cool price for a Cap Franc, but juicy and very good. A Cap Sauv, a 94-point Syrah, one if not the best Syrah after the 13th Street that we tasted.
Oh yeah, we
but
tasted
different
a
price
new
point.
Syrah, and
Eh.
it just won an award too.
Platinum. Called it.
Mhm.
Called it.
You definitely called it.
But yeah, so that's what's coming up with us. And if you want a pack of rosé, get to it. There's just a few left, and it's going to be shipped early next week for the people outside of the province. And tomorrow we're going to finalize the shopping. The Tidal Bay offer is excellent. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you.
Oh, you had some.
Domaine des
That's
Grands Prés. That's so cool. And it's so funny because there's someone from BC who's been organizing some high-end BC trip for years, and with very high-end purchaser from Vancouver. He's in Nova Scotia right now, and he booked an appointment at Domaine des Grands Prés. He's going to be there visiting tomorrow, so I can't wait to hear what he has to say about them. But yes, Domaine des Grands Prés, the Tidal Bay appellation, is a cool little salty, little bit of RS, nice minerality. I absolutely love that wine from
an amazing value.
DPG.
This is the crazy thing. Some of these smaller appellations, they haven't understood that they're at the same level as some of the other places, and so they're charging way less than I think they could be.
Absolutely. That's the name of the game.
And so that's good for us, right? For now.
Absolutely.
With all the inflation going on, you can get these fantastic wines for like $18, $19, including tax sometimes.
That's crazy. Speaking about value, next week, Locust Lane from Ontario, from the Beamsville bench. Sneak a peek. We're doing some value wines. Sorry about that. 2 Chardonnays, there's sparkling Riesling. We're also going to do Cap Franc. We just won a silver award. A Cap Franc, a Merlot, a Pinot Noir, obviously. And so a nice value proposition from Locust Lane. I love what they do. They came to see us when they joined the party at Bellaterra, the members reunion that we did. Jeff Hines and David Gimbrell. So they joined us at the party at Bellaterra. We tasted some of the wines, and yeah, their price. But I think it's going to be like $135 for the 6-pack. Free shipping for Ontario. and very, very, very decent shipping price for the rest of the country. So they're willing to subsidize a lot to get their name out there. They just had a full write-up by the LCBO as well. Their rosé just had a full page. It's going to be part of the pack as well. So yeah, solid wines for an outstanding price. So
Every
yeah,
one of these wines we've opened, we've said, this is great. And we look at the price and we're like,
Right.
wow,
the
this is
Gewurztraminer,
really great.
the Gewurz. That's what I forgot. They have a Gewurztraminer that's going to be in the pack.
Yes.
And I'm not always a great fan of Gewurztraminer. And this one we tasted it was like dry and it's complex and it was long and it was super interesting and like sexy texture.
I don't know a whole lot about Gewurz, but it's not what I expected for Gewurz.
Yeah.
It was really
fantastic.
fantastic.
And sometimes Mira see my face changing and like she knows that I like and she's like, okay, so tell me how much you think it is. And I know that she's searching for the price. And I'm like, I don't know, what, $25? And she started to laugh. She's like, no. I was like, what, 22, 21? She's like, no, it's $15.95.
Including tax.
Are you fucking kidding me? Really?
I love when we find things out.
Yeah.
Like that.
So yeah, to me, like awesome. So yeah, Lucas Lane's coming to your way on Monday. So we can reorder right now Mouchedre, but also the rosé pack. I think people were ordering during the show. So there may be like 5 or 6 left. So get to it if you want to get your exclusive rosé pack. You cannot find that anywhere else. And Giant Head Winery, some cool stuff coming your way as well with Giant Head. We're just striking a pretty cool partnership with them as well. So it's going to be fun to taste some of their new wines and all of that. So
amazing. Well, hey, one more quick thing here. Let me see here. What do we got?
Tell me.
Vicky says thank you. Well, thank you, Vicky. You and Daryl, thank you for ordering the rosés. That's awesome. Supporting this really small batch, amazing wineries that are doing a great job. Yeah, I think we talked about everything that we were going to chat about. I mean,
I think so.
The only thing is this.
Going to the concert tonight.
This is Carl.
In the water, so to make it the same color, right? And we're proud of us. Like, yes, we thought of everything.
So
she likes to take shots. I mean, like that.
He's as fun as he looks, but in person, it's great. So if you're ever in the Okanagan, you have to reach out to us, and we'll do these small little events. Like it's the best one. It's like 12 people or less, and you actually get to meet people. And we have people come without like their spouse, or like they just come, you know, on your own, and it's not.
Usually we keep people over for dinner.
Well, we did this time for sure. We're like, who's staying for another hour or two? Because we're gonna put dinner on.
So finally, people arrive at like 2:30 in the afternoon. They left at 10 at night.
Oh.
Everyone was gonzo.
Well, they
probably opened like what 15 bottles of wine that night.
Well, that's the fun thing. That's what we want to end up doing. You know, in lots of different places. Maybe there's some way to do this. We can't duplicate you, but maybe there's some way to do community hubs or something. And that would solve some of our shipping problems, wouldn't it?
That's for sure.
That'd be kind of fun.
Brainstorming.
Let us know if you have ideas.
Okay, so we have a concert tonight, taking the kids to a concert here in Summerland at the park. So thanks to our live audience tonight. We appreciate all the crew who came over from all over the province. Thank you for everyone from Victoria. And that's it.
Yeah, we have some live people watching us right now. We'll have to see how we did.
Yeah, there you go.
Behind you guys, behind the camera.
There you go.
Thanks for stopping by, you guys.
Thanks for stopping by. So Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members, thank you for joining and see you next time.
Cheers.